Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of the podcast. Of course, this is a show where we get to bring you exciting conversations with sports greats. Of course, today's icon is our very own coach Andrea Cristoforetti. Of course, the national team coach of the Zambia national futsal team. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Is it afternoon?
It's kind of. We're
Already
getting there.
afternoon, yeah. But yeah, how are you? How are you
I'm
doing?
very good. I'm very good. Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you, and happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Of course, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to feature you on our show,
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
Sportcast.
Thank
Of
you.
course, this is a new show we are introducing this year. We'll get to have exciting conversations with people like you, those who are doing great things as far as the world of sport is concerned. But of course, before we go into details of why we are here, Coach, maybe we just get to hear. For those I may know you, but of course, for those who are seeing you for the very first time, just a brief introduction of who you are, and of course, we'll dive into why we are here.
Yes, my name, as you've heard, is Andrea Cristoforetti. I am the current coach of the Zambia Futsal national team and also of the Automotive Futsal Club. I'm an ex-former professional futsal player, played in Italy, and then my experience of coaching started in South Africa, and now I've been here for a good numbers of years, and to promote and develop futsal in Zambia, which is a beautiful sport, the fastest growing indoor sport in the world, and lately in the past years, also Africa, I've seen a great improvement and growth of the game.
Okay. And let's talk about what attracted you to Zambia. Of course, I know you played for international clubs in Italy. You started your coaching career in South Africa. How did you find yourself here? How did you get to Zambia, of course, to promote the game of futsal right here in Zambia?
Well, I had an opportunity to meet Mr. Meta, which is our founder and chairman of the Automotive Futsal Club, and he was very passionate. He's still very passionate about the game, and he was looking for an international coach for the club in order exactly to promote and develop the game in the country, and also in a philanthropical way, he's wanting to give back to his people, and he wanted to do it through sport. So I think all the elements for me when I met him were just the right elements in order to be able to work. And of course, that needs to be supported by many other factors, which is an indoor venue and the possibility of trainings and a league which was already established in Zambia, even though it was not indoor and not yet playing in hard surface, which makes a huge difference in our game. But nevertheless, when I first arrived, I saw there was a big need of, and people really enjoyed. There was a lot of people already knowing futsal, so there was a lot of excitement around the game, and I understood that the elements were just right to collaborate and start working. We tried working and step by step developing year by year. We arrived to this point. Needs to be said that this game in certain countries is not as known, is not as recognized for how beautiful and difficult it is. I don't stop reminding people that on the FIFA manual is considered a highly team sport, highly tactical team sport. So our game is really difficult, and with the difficulties of the game comes a lot of excitement because there's a lot of skills, a lot of drills, a lot of goals, and throughout my experience, my career, and traveling also the world, I understood that when you see it live, it becomes something else. In a few minutes, everything can change. There's beautiful goals scored. Also, the other big reminder to the general public is that is the best development tool for a footballer. by chance that the best players in the world, the best footballers in the world, all of them, they actually started playing futsal. They promote futsal, and just to validate the fact that this is not just a social game, and the recognition, even though in certain countries, is getting more and more and more popular. The, starting with the main and best league in the world, which is in Spain, but there's many other countries. And I will finish saying that we are lucky enough that this great development in Morocco lately is doing an amazing job and investing a lot in the game, and which I'm very happy that is an African country and which has been rated one of the best teams in the world currently. Yes.
Now, talk about your impact to futsal from the time you came in, and of course, looking at where we are. How would you rate the growth of the game in Zambia?
Look, I think we have grown a lot. A lot, well, a lot if I have to think what we were then. But the truth is, the game has changed. So the team, for
From the
instance,
time Zambia played its first international game
exactly,
when it was
it's completely another game. So those teams are not the same teams, and hopefully we are not the same team. Definitely, the growth I think has been there because this is over 8 years that I'm here, and we never stopped working. So it's been a constant growth. So maybe perhaps hasn't been perceived in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe, or maybe yes. But the truth is, to achieve something that is important, you need small steps constantly. So we did that. As a matter of fact, I have to say the last season of the FAS Premier Futsal League has been the best so far. And the beginning of this one also, I can see year by year the quality of the game is increasing, and that's because since I'm also the national team coach and I'm also doing clinics for coaches, and I'm trying by all means to give my experience to help the coaches, the players to grow and to play the best futsal in a possible way, and also to consider is that I come from a European background, and I needed also time to adjust because my aim is to find our own Zambian way to play futsal. To find this identity, I needed time. The players and the environment were my teachers more than anything else. It was not me coaching them, it's not them coaching me. And all I did is to put my experience. I played all my life professionally since I was a kid. I moved from 11-a-side to futsal when I was 18, and before that I played in a professional 11-a-side team. So I played all my life, and I'm also very happy and proud to give it back to an African country.
And talk about, before we talk about the national team, I know you have regrouped today to focus on the African affairs. But talk about the Premier Futsal League. I know you have dominated the league for over, is it 5 seasons?
It's seven
Six,
seasons.
six, seven seasons? You're champions.
Yes,
No,
yes, yes.
your story reminds me of when Real Madrid won the UEFA Champions League when it was beginning. But coming back to you as automotive Premier as automotive or Futsal Academy, you have dominated the Premier Futsal Academy. What does that say about your expertise as coach, considering the fact that the other futsal clubs are being drilled by our very own locals. Maybe to your part, what has motivated or what has inspired automotive to be champions for the last seven seasons?
Look, look. The truth is, it is highly tactical, and you need to understand the tactics. You need to understand to apply them to the game, and that needs a bit of years of experience. I've got 20 years as a player.
Yeah.
I've also been lucky enough to be mentored by the best coach in the world, which also has been here a few times, and I've been coached by great coaches. So I do have a good number of years of experience. So in terms of how professional was futsal and it is futsal, as we all know, the general player wants to play more 11 side.
Yeah.
So I needed time to get our own identity to be we can just play futsal because this I think what happened and what was the difference with the other clubs that most of the players would play in both, which is okay. I mean I don't mind that, but the truth is if you want to be good in one, you need to train on a daily basis, and if you train on a daily basis, and this is what we've been doing for quite some time. So the players of the club, we train every day. You won't be able to train also with a good intensity in another game, you see. So I think the major difference was just that the local coaches and players, they just didn't have that experience and knowledge of futsal played at high level. But for sure, there's great commitment and there's great passion, and the margin of growth I think is still very high, and I'm witnessing this growth on a yearly basis. And for this reason, I'm very proud. So I think at the end is really the commitment, the working ethic, and working on a daily basis for some years. It's then a matter of time that I think results they will show up.
Okay. The podcast is what you are watching here. See, of course, we say thank you so much to everyone who is who has given us this support. Today we feature national futsal team coach Andrea, Cristoforetti. Of course, as we get to the main reason why we're here, coach. I know as a national team coach, maybe we start with how the year 2023 was. How exciting was it? Of course, we saw the Zambia national team for the first time after a long time playing games in Europe, having a few international matches after a long time. I do remember since the COVID-19, the team had not traveled outside the country to plan to compete. But of course, last year we did see that for the first time after a long time. And of course, we also saw you guys coming back with international trophies. Just how exciting was that to your part?
Yes, the one element that was missing in the growth of Zambian futsal, particularly of the national team, was to play international. And we had since I am the head coach, we had a good number of camps. With these camps, I had the possibility of trying and seeing a very good number of players, which I keep monitoring, and also we watch most of the games. So with all of this, I would say the one element was really missing to be able to play, and because of COVID, or also because of finances, because it's difficult, very expensive to travel. Fortunately enough, when we had a great opportunity to play an international tournament in Croatia, and then another one in Italy, and with positive outcomes, we won both of them. So for sure, the 2022 was very exciting for us, but we never forgot that it was in preparation for the qualifiers of the Africa Cup, which is happening now. In this national team, I had to restructure it completely from new. As a matter of fact, only 2, 3 players were from the last mandate, let's call it that. And most of my players had really it was the first cap for the national team. So we really needed to test. People would ask me how do you think we'll be going, and I really didn't know because we needed to really play teams. We played some fairly good teams, so we are happy about that outcome. But we need to play internationally, and just to put it in perspective, Morocco, which is, as mentioned earlier, one of the best teams in the world right now. In 2023, they played 28 games in 1 year. For a national team, is a lot of games. Winning 25 and drawing only 5, so they never lost. And they won against the world champions like Argentina, winning against them. So, in order to grow at an international level, there has to be a lot of commitment, also financial, to travel and to play 28 games. So, the Moroccan Federation has invested in a lot in futsal. We are growing, we're having a good dialogue with the federation, we're understanding the importance of our game. And I always think that in any case, things need to grow organically. So step by step, we are trying to do that. And but of course now the time comes where the real games are coming. So this is now our World Cup is just the next games that will come in against Mozambique.
Okay, and of course, talking about Mozambique, I know you're drawn against them in the AFCON qualifiers. Are they intimidating? Do you see them as threats going to these qualifiers set for next month?
Well, from our area, um meaning all the countries that was in our pot for the draw, Mozambique is definitely the strongest. You don't have to forget that we lost against them in 2016, the penalties that would have brought us to the World Cup. Uh, Again, surely it's not the same team. Um, the quality they've been playing internationally. Just 4 months ago, they played an international continental cup in Thailand, playing against European teams and not only. So they know the game. They've been playing for some time. They have played the World Cup. So it is a team well structured. We are aware of that, but we are aware also of our potential and that we are all more than intimidated. We can say that we are all very excited about it, and this is what we are looking forward to.
Okay. And today, of course, the preparations have started for the qualifiers against Mozambique. Just take us through the plans you've set for yourselves as Team Zambia to ensure that you prepare adequately for the qualifiers next month.
Yes, we had a little break, and before that we were camping, and again. So now the very first point will be to give a good fitness base of strength and fitness, and reconsolidating our main principle, defensive principles. So this first week will be a bit of physical work and a bit of tactical work. And then in the following weeks, we'll be starting transforming the physical work in speed and more in the pace of the game. Remembering that we have two games, home and away, so we've got 80 minutes of stopping time. So we need to also prepare and organize the two games for whatever could happen, which means playing with the flying keeper or defending the flying keeper and trying to imagine all the scenarios and try to be prepared as much as possible in that way. Most especially, I would say, in the details, because these games, generally speaking, the details can make a huge difference. And when I talk about details, I mean about like set pieces, like corners, like throw-ins, and like free kicks, and some structured movements with the pivot, for instance, that in difficult games they always actually make a difference.
Okay. And after day one, how do you assess the fitness levels of the players in council?
Well, we need to work.
You need
We
to
need
work.
to work. It seems funny, but the players just after a few days of no trainings,
Yeah.
and today I really wanted to assess them. We did a couple of tests,
Yeah.
and I see we need to put some petrol in our
Petrol.
we need to put some diesel in our bodies, but it's okay. The truth is also one of the biggest strengths we have is actually that endurance and the intensity of our pressure. So we really need to make sure that we get to the days of the game that we are at the best level possible.
Okay. Would you say come next month the team will be ready to face Mozambique?
We'll definitely be ready as much as we can.
Okay. Take us through the targets you have set for the year. 2024, coach. I know the qualifiers are crucial, of course. When you talk of the Africa Cup of Nations, it will be used as qualifiers for the World Cup.
Right.
Just take us through the targets you have set as a team.
Well, look, it's difficult and funny topic at the same time because, as I say always to my players, is we always need to have the greatest ambition, and that's really my thinking. Because when you have the greatest ambition, in order to try to achieve that, something good will come out of it. So you don't want to set your ambition as low ambition.
Yeah.
I want to set them very high.
Very high.
So the highest ambition can be to go to the World Cup.
To the World Cup.
Not only that, actually, I would love to go to the World Cup and play good futsal to show the world that an African team can play futsal at high level and can compete with international teams. This is the greatest ambition. Now I will have to cancel all of that
Yeah.
and be realistic that our World Cup is actually this qualifier. So the only thing that we focus in now is those two games because these are the only ones that we have available. It will be challenging. We will face problems and we need just to get ready for it. And if we do it, if the preparation is done successfully, then we are winners anyway. So we what is important is that we do our work in the best way possible. And this is the kind of message I'm trying to give to the players, which are very committed. And also to be remembered that some of them, they haven't qualified last year, 3 years, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Few of them played the Africa Cup but didn't go to the World Cup, so against Mozambique. So there are players here that they want them, it's their time now. And I'm trying to tell them now it's our time to succeed. So they have this commitment, which I do thank them because this whole group has been really committed from day one. We've got some experienced players which are giving their best to keep their team united and motivated in a good way. So there's actually a great vibe in the camp and in the team.
Okay. You start the qualifiers with a game away from home.
Yes.
How big of an advantage is it the fact that we'll be starting away from home?
Well, having the second game where you're really going to decide what's going to happen here in Zambia, and I have no doubt that our pitch and our arena will be full. In full capacity, we don't have doubts about this. It can be that. Also to remember that the away goals, if CAF hasn't changed, because I'm asking confirmation for that, means that if we draw there and scoring more goals, we can draw here and still go through. So at least when we come here, we know exactly what the results and the score can be, and I think that factor can be helped. And the supporters will probably be the extra players and the pitch for us. So that can be mentally also. We know that we've got the important game at home.
Okay. As we come to a close of this brief interview, coach, maybe just your general advice to the players, of course, in terms of the need for them to work hard, considering the fact that if you miss out on these qualifiers, you have to wait for another 4 years, is it, to compete?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is the one aspect that I'm personally trying to fight with CAF.
Yeah.
We're trying to establish an association where we can promote and advise and have more activities during the 4 years, there's few other competitions that we are trying to arrange possibly. To the players is that obviously, I mean, it's either in or out. So one of the aspects to be considered is injuries, for instance, and fitness level, and taking care of your mental and physical body, physical aspects. So the biggest advice is to be taking care of themselves as much as they can, in all their aspects. So to have a healthy life and to be as focused as they can for those two games.
Okay. And of course, one thing I forgot to ask, as you regroup today, is this camp residential or maybe the players are coming from home? How are you doing it for now?
This first week, we are just coming in trainings. From the next week, we are trying to stay together so we can train twice a day. But it will definitely happen at the latest, let's say, at the end of next week.
And the league is on break right now.
That's why we're going to be playing this weekend,
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then from Monday we'll stop all the activities, and that's when
Focus on
we will
national team break.
focus for another around about 15 days, just to prepare the traveling and the away game here in Zambia.
All right, Coach. Well, it's been a pleasure. To all our viewers, you have been watching. The Sportcast. Of course, this is a show which is meant to bring you exciting conversations with sports gurus. Of course, today we were featuring national team coach Andrea Cristoforetti. Of course, has been coach of the national team for some time now. But of course, he doubles as a coach of automotive futsal academy. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
of
very
course,
much. Thank you.
we pray, we hope this is not the last one. We'll meet again, of course,
Sure. Anytime.
as we progress. I
Anytime.
know
Thank you.
you will do great things in as far as the
Thank you very much.
qualifiers are concerned. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.